Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. It's 9 o'clock. The roll call will be taken till 9:15.
I'd like to introduce Kai Kahele, who is our next speaker. He is a U.S. representative for Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District. We are pleased to introduce Congressman Kai Kahele, who will speak to us live on Zoom to address the delegates at our 29th Local I-142 convention. Congressman Kai Kahele was just recently elected to Congress in 2020 and serves Hawaii's 2nd Congressional District. He currently sits on the Committee on Armed Services and Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. The ILWU Local 142 was proud to be the first union to endorse Kai Kahele for his congressional race, and we strongly appreciate his strong stance in support of the Jones Act and the PRO Act. Congressman Kahele is a dynamic and articulate speaker, and we are very excited to hear what he has to say to all of us today. Please take a moment to listen to Congressman Kahele. Good morning, Kai.
Hey, aloha, and aloha kakahiaka kako, Karina. Thank you so much for that introduction. And to all of our members across the state, our union brothers and sisters of the ILWU Local 142, I just want to say mahalo nui loa and aloha kakahiaka from Hilo, Hawaii. I'm here in my district office in Hilo, and it's great to be with you all this morning at the 29th convention of the ILWU. When I found out that the ILWU wanted me to address the convention members and delegates this morning, I never even questioned or hesitated this opportunity to spend a few moments with you because of the relationship that I have with ILWU Local 142, one that began when I was a little boy here in Hilo, and through my dad and through people like Bobo La Peña and others here on Hawaii Island, is a relationship that has been nurtured for many, many years. And so, I'm really proud to work together with the ILWU Local 142. I want to say mahalo to our union leadership, President Donna Domingo, Vice President Karina Wynn. Thank you for that introduction. Secretary Treasurer Brian Tanaka and Longshore Division Director Baba Haoli. All of you who are elected delegates and everyone participating in today's local convention of the ILWU. In Hawaii, there is an appreciation for individuals and organizations with strong ties to the community and a record of helping others. In that vein, the ILWU Local 142 has endured a presence here in the islands, dating back nearly 70 years to those days here on the Hilo Wharf with Harry Kamoku, when these 4 smaller units combined forces to join one. This merge of those forces galvanized the collective resources and strengths of many and built a solid foundation of the almost 18,000 members that the ILWU 142 now represents, not to mention the thousands of ILWU members nationally all over the country. This is a monumental feat that you all should be proud of, and I just want to extend my congratulations. Unions are often referred to as the backbone of the working class and all rights in our workplace, and this is really, really important and significant. Organized labor has opened the doors of opportunity for millions of Americans to help them buy homes, secure health care, educate their children, and enjoy leisure time with family and friends. Organized labor also employs thousands of Hawaii's workforce like the ILWU, and I have been a strong supporter, like Karina mentioned, of the Jones Act, of the PRO Act. The Jones Act supports almost 13,000 jobs for Hawaii's families and provides an annual workforce income of nearly $780 million. The Jones Act also plays a critical role in our national security, and it's why from my early political career as a state senator and now as a United States representative on a very important committee, the Transportation Infrastructure Committee, my strong support of the Jones Act is very, very important. Now, the well-being and livelihood of our families, our local families, of our communities is another top priority that we all share. For over a year now, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused enormous upheaval in all of our lives, and it continues to change the way we live and work. just last year in March, when COVID-19 changed all of our lives, and our ILWU workers on the Kohala Coast, specifically at the Fairmont Orchid, were on the verge of losing their health care. You know, I got involved with Elmer Garospe and George Martin and Tristy, and we worked really, really hard with the Fairmont Orchid management to make sure that those members, your members, at least had their healthcare benefits extended during the COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent layoffs that happened throughout our hotel industry, many of which is represented by the ILWU on Kauai, on Maui, of course, here on Hawaii Island. In March of this year, as I took my role as Hawaii's freshman member of the delegation, I joined my House colleagues and voted in favor of the American Rescue Plan Act. This life-saving legislation provided urgently needed resources to help defeat the virus, put money into families' pockets, put children safely back into the classrooms, and put people back to work. Now, I just mentioned put money into families' pockets, and today is a significant day because for those of you with children, you should have received today your child tax credit, and you should have been receiving it from July. And families, millions of families across the country and thousands here in Hawaii that have children are receiving their child tax credit. Might be a few $100s, might be a little bit more than that, but that is part of the American Rescue Plan that Democrats passed in March. Not a single Republican voted for the American Rescue Plan. So I just want you to be aware of that child tax credit that we are working now in the Build Back Better plan to make permanent. The child tax credit will lift thousands of children out of poverty throughout our country and help working families with a little bit of extra money to help pay rent, help buy groceries, help pay the utility bills, you know, whatever they feel that they need to use it for. And so I just want to make you aware of that. That's one little thing that we were able to do with a unified government, Democrats in Congress, to the American Rescue Plan, the child tax credit. And I'm working really hard to make sure that child tax credit is permanent in the Build Back Better plan. Now, the American Rescue Plan received strong support from a large majority of American people, from trade unions like the ILWU, bipartisan, Republican and Democrat, state and local leaders, education groups, advocacy organizations, and hundreds of businesses and chambers of commerce. The Paycheck Protection Plan allowed those businesses to keep their employees on the books, keep them on their healthcare plans, while we could weather the COVID-19, economic disaster that resulted because of the pandemic. It helped our kupuna, our keiki, our ohana, yet there is still more work to do. And I just want to remind you that the American Rescue Plan was passed on a partisan line. Every Democrat supported it in Congress, and not a single Republican voted for the American Rescue Plan. Now, just last month, I voted in favor of President Biden's $3.5 trillion Build Back Better agenda. The president's plan creates more jobs. It's going to cut taxes. It's going to lower costs for things like childcare, the price of medicine. We're going to expand Medicare to make sure you get vision, dental, and hearing on your Medicare plan. If you have a young child between 3 to 5 years old, we're going to extend universal child care to children across the country. We're going to lower taxes for working class families, middle class Americans, and we're going to raise taxes for the top 1% in this country. The over 700 billionaires that combined with an over $4 trillion of economic wealth. It's time for them to pay their fair share and help move this country forward. And I'm going to be voting yes on that when that comes to the House floor in the next 2 weeks. So there is hope on the horizon. We will get through this together. Your delegation is working very, very hard to do that. Now, here at home, unions have successfully raised the standard of living for thousands of our residents. And I'm proud to say that Hawaii has the highest union membership rate in the nation at 23.7%. As the only member of the delegation, and probably the only member in the entire United States Congress who is a member of a union, you're looking at them. I'm a member of the Airline Pilots Association. I've been there for the last 12 years. I'm a card-carrying union member. I'm still an active commercial airline pilot with Hawaiian Airlines. I pay my union dues, and I know firsthand how unions can level the playing field. This is important to me. It's important to you. And we're going to work really hard in the delegation to make sure right-to-work laws never pass at the federal level, and make sure we can pass the PRO Act that will ensure unions continue to grow and continue to work together hand in hand with management, not the other way around. Unions give us a stronger voice to advocate for higher wages, better benefits, and for improved workplace conditions. Unions put the power in the hands of the workers. Never forget that. This is important for my daughters and other children, your children. And when they come of age and are able to make career choices, should they decide to enter the workforce, I want to be sure that my kids and your kids can enjoy all the opportunities that a union may provide. This is also one of the reasons I spoke on the House floor in support of the Protecting the Right to Organize Act, the PRO Act. The number one priority for unions across this country is the PRO Act, because it's going to lift up American workers and strengthen America's middle class. The House of Representatives passed the PRO Act months ago. That thing is sitting in the United States Senate, and we need to work together with our senators, Senators Hirota and Schatz, and try and get the PRO Act through the United States Senate to President Biden's desk. Again, I want to work together with all of you in Congress. I'm continuing to support your efforts and the work of the ILWU, of 142, of our Longshore, and our national organizations. So I just want to thank you for allowing me to address you today. Best wishes for a successful local convention. Mahalo for all you do. If you ever get a chance to come to Washington, D.C., I would love to spend a little bit of time with you, take you around the United States Capitol, your United States Capitol, and ikomo mayu to my Washington, D.C. office up on Capitol Hill. So mahalo nui loa, aloha, and have a great, great convention. Mahalo.
Thank you, Kai. ILWU Local 142 thanks you and all of Hawaii for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you for your support. Have a great convention.
Thank you. Next up, we will have a video from Ed Ferris, ILWU International Secretary Treasurer. We are pleased to show a video on the importance of labor solidarity from Brother Ed Ferris, the ILWU Secretary Treasurer. Edwin Ferris is a longshoreman from Local 10, was first elected as the International Secretary Treasurer in 2018 and previously served as the President, Vice President, Secretary Treasurer, and Business Agent for ILWU Local 10. Please take a moment to listen to Ed on the significance of union solidarity.
Hey, good morning, and aloha, brothers and sisters of ILWU Local 142. I'm Ed Ferris, International Secretary Treasurer of the ILWU and Local 10 member. On behalf of all of the staff, titled officers, and rank and file members of the ILWU, I want to wish you all a safe, prosperous, and wonderful convention. It sucks that we all can't be together. It's less than ideal, but guess what? It's the right move. So I applaud the leadership team of President Domingo, Vice President Nguyen, Secretary Treasurer Tanaka for putting this together. It's hard to put a virtual convention together, but it's what's necessary given the global pandemic that we're all navigating through. I just want to share a real quick story because I don't think it gets said enough, but as a member of Local 10, I want to thank all of you at Local 142 for the wonderful relationship that we all have. In the 50s, Local 142 put up the money that allowed Local 10 to buy our property in Fisherman's Wharf, and it's something that will never be forgotten by all of us at Local 10. So I just think it's a prime example of solidarity. It's what we need to do. We need to look out for one another. We need to help each other, especially during this time where so many things are negative and bad. But please stay safe. This isn't going to be forever. We're going to be able to get back together, but the important thing is that we all stay safe and that our kids, our grandmas, our grandpas, our uncles, our aunties, everybody stays safe. So God bless all of you. I look forward to seeing all of you as soon as things get back to normal and safe. And let's have a great week. And God bless all of you. God bless the ILWU.
We thank Ed for that message that he gave to us today. Next on the agenda will be committee sessions. Being that all committees have completed their committee work, We'll move into committee reports, and finance will be the first committee up. We will take at this time a 30-minute break or recess, and then continue on with the finance committee. Thank you very much.